In this video, we will review the material from section 1.2, function given by tables. As usual, I encourage students to read the textbook and watch all the videos before you start working on the assignments. In this section, you will learn how to read tables of values, how to find the average rate of change, and how to find a missing value in a table. Normally, this section is not hard for many students because many of you will remember how to find an average rate of change from your beginning algebra or algebra 1 from high school or from 61 class. And many of you will remember how to read tables from your social studies class. Let's review one example and answer several questions. As a given table shows the number W of women in the United States employed outside the home as a function of the date D. And the first question is, explain the meaning of W of 1980. So to make your life easier, you should read the problem. And you see that a W is the number of women in the United States employed outside of home. So you will write it down. W of 1980 represents the number of women employed outside of the home, and you have to add in 1980. So you don't have to come up with your own words. You always can read the problem and take the words from the problem. Next question. In what year was the number of women employed outside of the home 56.8 million? So you have to look at the table. You have to look at the second row and find the number 56.8. And you see that this number happened in 1990. Now we will review the formula for average rate of change, and you have to memorize this formula. Average rate of change is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You have to memorize this formula. You will use it a lot in this class. Actually, you learned this formula in a basic algebra class, and you use this formula to find a slope of a line. Now, we will review the same example, but we have to find the average yearly rate of change in W from 1980 to 1990. It's always good idea to write 2 points down to eliminate mistakes. And please remember that we do not have a word cents in this problem, so we do not have to change years to value t. So we remember the formula already for the average rate of change. We need to use this formula. Please be careful and please remember that years are always on the bottom, and the yearly rate of change in W is 1.13. Always remember about units, and in this case is million women per year. Now we need to explain the meaning of the average rate of change. that we found in the previous question. And your answer has to be a full sentence. And you should start this way. Each year from 1980 to 1990, the number of women employed outside the home increased by 1.13 million women. How do we know that it's increased? Please remember, if the average rate of change is positive, it means the function is increasing. If the average rate of change is negative, it means that the function is decreasing. Now, we need to use the average rate of change and estimate the value W in year 1983. From the table, we can see that the value of W in 1980 is equal to 45.5 million. And we know that each year that number of women increased by 1.13 million. So to find the number of women next year in 1981, you need to take 45.5 and add 1.13. And next step, you will have to add 1.13 one more time. And in 1983, you have to add 1.133 times and calculate the value, and it will be equal to 48.89 million women. Feel free to email me all your questions.